Is this thing on? Is it on? Can you hear me? Can you? Oh, well, I guess, yeah, here I am. Um, what's up, fuckers? How's it fucking going? Long time no fucking see. As you can tell, still in my fucking garage. Still got fucking boxes and shit all piled up. We're getting close. My wife's about to have her surgery, and we'll be getting out of here late January to February, most likely, unless some other shit goes fucking sideways like it has been. But I digress. We're alive. Could be worse. Could be a lot fucking better, but shit happens. Hope you all are doing okay. Hope Thanksgiving was good. I miss you motherfuckers. I miss Thanksgiving football. Hopefully, I'll be able, once I get settled down out there, that when I do come back to see family, and during those times, if y'all are doing something, then I might be able to stop by. We'll have to see how shit goes because everything's been going fucking nutty. But wouldn't it be crazy that I have more of a chance of seeing you all when I live out in Washington than I do when I'm fucking here because of how crazy shit is? But anyway, I digress. Let's get fucking into it, man. What a fucking year it has been. Let's just go over the final seedings and then I'll get into the announcement of the second half scoring winner and some more stats. So, in the Champs Division, the winner of the Champs Division was Manny. He got the 3 seed. The winner of the Dogs Division was our overall 1 seed, Joel and Gus, the tag team from hell. And then we also have the Puppies Division, which did not play like puppies. We will get into them. But Jeff won that, and he is the number 2 seed. After that, we had a total of 3 teams from the Champs, 3 teams from the Puppies Division get into the playoffs. Joel and Gus were the only one single team, and it was a hell of a team, the number 1 overall seed, but they were the only one from their division to get in. Kyle and Hector just missed out. Carlos and Luis Ramos got the 4 and 5 seed. Sahid and myself got the 6 and 7. Sam, Alex, and Luis Reynoso make up the rest after Kyle and Hector. So that's where we're at. So without further ado, the winner, drum roll please. I can't do a fucking drum roll. I don't have 3 fucking hands. I wish I did. I could masturbate all day and still type shit up for my work. But still, I gotta type with one hand and masturbate with the other. It's real fucking awkward, I'm telling you. Anyway, the winner for the second half scoring is Jeffrey. Yes, sir. Jeffrey, good job, buddy. 1,062.13 points in the second half. You were second in scoring in the first half, so you almost swept both, but you stepped it up a little bit. Second was Luis Ramos. Third was Carlos. Manny was fourth. Kyle was fifth. He had the biggest jump. He was 11th. I'm going to go through some of these in just a little bit as well, but he had the way biggest jump. He had a 200, almost 200, 199.72 plus point differential in the second half to the first half. Came in fifth for the second half. I was sixth. Sahid was seventh. Then Joel and Gus actually were 8th, Hector 9th, Sam, Alex, and Luis Reynoso were 10th, 11th, and 12th. So, digging into more of the stats here, some of the differences. So, Jeff had, everybody pretty much had a plus for the most part. There were only 2 teams who did not score more than in the second half than they did in the first half. So, all but 2 teams, 10 out of 12 teams scored more. And that ranged from a high of 200 points, 199.72. So basically 200 points from Kyle, all the way to the plus of, I believe it was 10 points, 10.05 for Luis, even. Luis Reynoso, who scored the least amount in the league this year. However, there were 2 teams that scored in the negative. Now, Alex was one of them. He scored 39.66, so 40 points less in the second half than the first. But what is the other team that scored less? That would be Joel and Gus. They actually scored 2.77 points less, so almost 3 points less. It's really basically about even, so they played about even, but still something to look at that, in the first half of the year they were number 4, they were number 8 in the second half, so it evens out. They still got the top seed, but Obviously, they're still going to be biting their nails until they, hopefully from their perspective, win it all. Because there's 7 teams that all have an equal shot. Now they have more than an equal shot because they played themselves into that first seed, rightfully so. They get the bye, so they're going to move on no matter what next after this week. But then from there it's on. And remember, we have reseeding to make sure that it's the highest versus the lowest seed. So if I win, I will play them. I will have the toughest road because I have the 7th seed. Sahid and Manny play, and that's for a dynasty belt, and that could potentially be up for grabs as well in the future. If I do not win, then whoever wins between Sahid and Manny would go on to play, most likely. The way that it would work out is that they would go on to play Joel and Gus. So that would be a dynasty belt game. So there are plenty of good matchups that are there, which let's get right into them. Like I said, Joel and Gus have the bye. That is perfect for them. That's nothing better than some playoff-free football that you get to watch and not have to worry about your main fantasy league. At least it is for me. So we'll get right into the next one. Jeff versus myself. Jeff is the 2 seed. I am the 7 seed. I just barely snuck in on points. I got exactly what I needed. Pure luck. I don't know if that luck's about to run out. It probably is, because Jeff has a fucking hell of a team. But anything can happen in the playoffs. We did play back in week 11. He whooped my ass. It was 170 to 117. So we'll have to see if he does that again or if I happen to reverse it. But that is our 2 versus 7 seed. He is 9-5. I am 7-7. Manny versus Sahid. This is another dynasty belt game. They just played this past week, and because of the split, they end up having the same points, or I'm sorry, the same record, but it went to points. Manny takes the division. Manny gets home field advantage. That's a 3-point home field advantage, don't forget. So they played back in week 3. Manny won 172 to 95, and then it got flipped this past week. Manny lost 189 to 144. So we'll have to see what happens here. This is a battle of the teams. Me and Jeff, it's a battle of, me having 3 championships, Jeff going for his first. So we have old versus new, trying to there. Manny and Sahid, it's 2 versus 2. Both these guys are trying to go for their 3rd, and whoever wins still has a chance. Whoever does not, still has a pretty strong ending, and we'll go through how some of everybody's years went, because it definitely was impressive how Manny made the playoffs for sure. Same with Sahid coming from behind, because it was all up in the air all throughout the year in our division. That's for damn sure. Last but not least, Carlos versus Luis Ramos. Now, what's interesting here is Carlos is the home team, so he gets home field because of record. He finished 1 game better. 9-5 to 8-6, but these guys are in the same division, and Luis Ramos actually beat Carlos twice. He swept him. He beat him in week 2, 99 to 91. Basically, I'm rounding off the points here, and then also 2 weeks ago, week 13, 163 to 149, I believe it was, or 144. So, can Luis Ramos complete the sweep? The 3-game sweep, these do happen a good amount of times, when division mates make the playoffs. So we'll have to see, or can Carlos reverse that and say, fuck you. Keep in mind, if Carlos wins this would be Carlos's first ever playoff win. Now, I believe Luis has actually been to a Super Bowl before, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong. For those that have watched so far, especially Gus, I believe Fire Breathing Rubber Duckies was a win over Luis, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that was back when we had 8 seeds, and it's the last time. I think he's been to a Super Bowl and lost, and that was the first time that he was with us. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Also, we have our last place game. Alex gets the home field advantage versus Luis Reynoso. Luis finds himself in the last place game again, but if he wins, Alex gets to have all the fun. Speaking of the punishment, I dropped the ball this year, didn't have Joel and Gus change their team name. If they're game to it, and we'll talk about it, maybe we'll vote on a team name to put on the trophy, just to put some shame on it and something to memorialize if they end up winning it all and they go coast to coast as the top team. Then maybe we'll talk about, voting on a team name to go up there. to forever memorialize worst to first. And also, it would be kind of tongue in cheek, pretty fun. For it would be the first championship for Joel, but the third for Gus. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, my bad. I had a lot going on. Dropped the ball. We didn't change the name. By now, it's just kind of like fuck it. So we'll just see what happens. All right. So let's get into some extra stats, which you know me, I like to write everything down. Got it all written down here. So what I wanted to kind of do is go from seed 1 through seed 12. So first to last, which is Joel and Gus, all the way down to Lewis. And just what is your story? What was your story of the regular season? How did you get to where you currently are? Okay, so just taking a little bit and going through that. Joel and Gus, they started with 3 wins, then they had a loss, 2 wins, another loss, 4-game win streak, then a loss, a win, and a loss. All right, so finished pretty strong, had a 4-game win streak in there, never lost more than 1 game in a row. That is how you get the top seed, right? Jeff, he was 9-5. He actually did have a multi-game lose streak. He had a win, a loss, then a 4-game win streak, followed by a 3-game losing streak. But then he followed it up with 2 wins, a loss, and 2 wins. So he had 4 wins in his last 5 games. That is how you finish, and that is how you get the number 2 seed. So he is strong. He's played the game well. He also, put in the waiver claim for having the first bid at Isaac Garindo. He plays on Thursday. We'll have to see if he's going to be available for him. So that'll be interesting. I'll be definitely paying attention to that. Manny, our 3rd seed and the winner of our Champs Division. Congrats, dude. Well earned. You started off kind of iffy. It was win, loss, win. Then you had a 3-game losing streak. Then you had a win, another loss. Then you had a 5-game winning streak, and you lost last week, which it really didn't hurt you too much. Would have just changed potentially some order if, and I think would have taken Jeff losing. So it doesn't really affect you anyway. But of your last 6 games, you won 5 of them, and that's damn good, man. You finished the year strong, came from behind, and took the damn division. All right. Keep in mind, our division winners get trophies. So, this is a unique league. I like it. So there's an incentive to win everything. Like, you got to win your shit. You got to know your shit. 4 flex, no tight end required, but a baby premium. How does that factor into your values? It's interesting, man. I love it. You got to know your shit in this league. So when you do good for a reason. It's because you've been making the right move. So be proud about that, especially even just getting to the playoffs. Takes skill to get to the playoffs and some luck too. Don't get me wrong. Not saying that it doesn't take luck, but it's all luck once you get the playoffs. Anybody can win it. You just got to go on the right winning streak. Somebody has to go 2, in Gus and Joel's case, or a 3-game win streak to get it all done, right? All right, next up, Carlos, our 4 seed, 9-5, the top wild card. He started off weak, 2 losses, then a 4-game win streak, then had alternating loss, win, loss. Then he had a 3-game win streak, a loss, and a win. He also won 4 of his last 5, so he finished it strong, just in a different way. Luis Ramos, loss, win, loss, win, loss. So alternating to start out. Then 3 wins, and then alternating losses and wins, and then 2 wins and a loss. So went back and forth, hence the 8-6 record. You're going to see more of that as we go through and we get more to 500 and then sub 500 teams. There is very few sub 500 teams. Out of all 12 teams, 9 out of 12, so 75% of the league had a 500 or better record. So very competitive. Now, normally it doesn't hover too much more than that. It's not saying that it's normally half the league because remember, 7 teams get in. But we have had teams with losing records get into the playoffs before. I would say it's at least closer to 50%, maybe 7 out of 12. But 9 out of 12, that is really, really big. So kudos to everybody. That's a hell of a damn year. And there was even some good competition from our teams that did not do so well this year, as we'll get to. So, Sahid, 8-6. He went loss, win, loss, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 wins, 2 losses, 3 wins. So he had a some baby streaks in there that got him at the end, alternating 2 wins to 2 losses twice, and then finished with 3 wins. That's how you get it done, man. Good job. Me at myself, Jordan, I, me, all the other pronouns. I go by he, I go by she, I go by she, her, she. I don't give a fuck what you call me. I'm it. You can call me it, them, they. Use whatever fucking pronoun you want. I don't give a fucking fuck. Fuck that shit. Anyway, I went 3 wins, 3 losses, 3 wins. Talk about some streaks. My year was up and down. Then 4 losses, and then I just won last week. So that's some streaks for you. 3, 3, 3, 4, and 1. All right. Kyle, he alternated a lot. He went back to back, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, 2 losses, win, loss, 2 wins, loss, win. So couldn't get too much of a streak going. That's how you get to 7-7. Hector, pretty similar. He did have a 3-game win streak sprinkled in there. So it was win, loss, 3 wins, then loss, win, 2 losses, win, loss, win, 2 losses. All right. Sam went 4-10. Sam was the highest out of everybody that did not have the winning record. But he started off very rough. He had the longest, or the second longest losing streak. He started off with 6 losses, so 0-6. But my boy, my brother from another mother, he does not back down. He said, fuck y'all, I'm going to do what I can. He did what he could. He got 3 wins in a row. He couldn't keep it together all the way. He then went with a loss, a win, and then ended the year with 3 losses. But hey, he did what he could. He was fighting the whole way, tooth and nail. See what he does in the loser bracket. You never know. He could end up getting that top pick, but he has a chance at it. So good job, man, keeping it together as long as you could. Again, when you have a bad record, shit doesn't have to go your way, and it doesn't go your way all the time. I've been at the bottom. Everybody has their time where they're at the bottom, where they're at the top, or somewhere in the middle. So, hey, doesn't fall your way, but still, it's meant to be fun. Had a fun year. Same goes for Alex. Normally, we see him in the playoffs. Not this year, though. He had a rough year at 4-10. Started off with 4 losses. That put him in a hole. Then he went win, loss, win. Had a 5-game losing streak after that, but he did win his last 2 games. So, way to end it at least on at least a little mini win streak, and you have a shot at the top pick next year, or whatever pick you end up wanting. Lewis, bringing up the rear. You've been here before, my brother. We still love you. But you were 3-11, and I'll tell you what exactly doomed you. You actually were looking pretty damn good. You had a really good chance. You went 2 wins to start the year, so 2-0. Then you had 3 losses. Then you had a win, so you were 3-3. You were 3-3 after 6 weeks, bro, and then the wheels fell off. You had an 8-game losing streak. 8-game losing streak was what did it for you, bro. So it wasn't all like you were doing bad the entire way. You definitely had some things going for you, but then unfortunately the bottom fell out. So that's basically all that I got for you guys. Good luck to everybody. Like I said, I'm hopeful that, once we get everything moved and get everything done, I'll be able to maybe do back, or get back to doing weekly videos and recaps and things like that during next year. I'll at least do one if I can, maybe before the Super Bowl. I'll definitely do one after. So I'll at least do 1 video, maybe 2 if I can, kind of recapping. I'll try to get some things going in the group chat, recapping the playoff results. I don't know if I can do a video every week. If I can, I will. It's a little easier to keep up with the playoff results, but we'll keep y'all informed. Remember, we got the last place game. Loser of that gets the punishment for next year between Lewis and Alex. Besides that, we got Jeff versus myself. Jeff has the home field advantage. Manny has home field advantage versus Sahid. It's another Dynasty Belt game. And last but not least, Carlos has the home field advantage versus Luis Ramos. Love y'all, boys. Y'all take it easy. Peace, motherfuckers.